Today is Tuesday and it's a great day out. I just thought I would fire up the grill and show you some of this chicken that I have that I marinated overnight in a Peruvian chicken marinade. And man, is this one yummy. Got a nice sear on it. So what I do is I sear it, stick it in the oven, finish it off. But the sear kind of locks in the juices and makes it really, really yummy. This one you got to make sure and you stand back when you're grilling it because it's got lots of paprika and chili powder in it, and man, does it burn your eyes. Let me hear some of your comments. Have you ever had this before? I will put the recipe down below for whoever wants it. Have a great Tuesday. And remember, cooking really isn't that hard. Just takes a little bit of preparation and a really good recipe and some time. Have a great day, guys. Love to you all. Bye.
Today, let's take on Success Bench with Rosy under Notes and Coffee. Every success has a story. Are there any secrets? Note the lessons. Get inspired. Success Bench with Rosy.
Rosy Day, everyone. Welcome back to my channel for the 10th episode of my Success Bench for Rosy, featuring an outstanding chef, hashtag Jill on the grill, the brilliant woman behind hashtag Shine Through COVID, and hashtag Sunrise Around the World. Everyone, please welcome Chef Sully Jill Sullivan. Finally, welcome on bench.
Like everybody seems to be intrigued by my hashtags right now, which are, I've had hashtags before, but this one sunrise, let's see,
It's around the world.
sunrise around the world.
Note of
Have you seen it?
Shine through COVID, sunrise around the world, and decide to be kind.
Yeah, decide to be kind is Shelley's.
Okay.
But the other two are mine.
Okay.
And then I have hashtag Jill on the grill, which has been fun. It's kind of like, have you ever seen those normal cooking shows where they're really dry and they're like, and then you add 2 teaspoons of this, and then it's like,
they're not
everybody knows how to cook.
Very
Go look.
traditional.
Yeah, I'm not like that. I'm like, I just do my thing in the kitchen and then post the recipe. You don't need to, everybody has YouTube nowadays. I don't know. I just really have enjoyed, have you ever had a hashtag?
Well, I'm just doing a hashtag, like hashtag Success Bench with Rosy and the hashtag Love Rosy because my YouTube channel is like that. I came up with this YouTube because I was heartbroken and like I was just on a self-love, more of like doing self-love, anything that I could put my heart into, just so that my mind is focused on a positive like work or project. So I had this podcast last year, but all because I'm always busy working in the city back in Manila. I have no time to actually do it, but it's always at the back of my head. So when pandemic hit, you have more time at home, so why not do it? And I was like healing and everything. So I found I have my laptop, I have my headset, I don't have fancy gadgets or anything like that. I just did it. And I just did it with like my first episode was like a radio announcer. He was like my childhood sweetheart, like kindergarten. He was doing a radio announcer broadcasting here in the Philippines. So I did it with him the first episode, and yeah, it went on from there.
I see you with Corey.
Yeah, he's actually the first
Is he your mentor?
he's mentoring me from then on. I was so
Okay.
glad to have him, like to
He's a big name.
meet him.
He is a big name.
I didn't realize it when we were doing it because he was just this so humble guy who wanted
Yeah.
to mentor people and
Yeah.
connect and relate to people.
Plus, he's very smart. And he came from the restaurant business,
Yeah,
so he knows what people are going
it's
through.
inspiring. But
I love LinkedIn though.
yeah,
LinkedIn is
just now
LinkedIn has been it's been amazing. It's like there's so many, like you're in the Philippines and we're talking.
exactly. I mean,
And yeah, I've become really, really good friends with a lot of people on here, like good friends. And it's just amazing.
right.
You, and I think it's because I'm older and I'm not used to making friendships online.
Mhm.
And then LinkedIn came along and I got, I got involved with the Random Act. I was a Random Act leader, hashtag Random Act. And I
Okay.
think that was in 2018 with Renee Johnson.
That was my
And
job too.
Bob, we were on different teams. She had like 3 teams. It was me over the Blue Angels. Then there was Tanya Puri and Tanya Yeager and Renee Johnson. And we all led the Random Act group. And it was phenomenal. It just really opened up a lot of doors for me. And,
Mhm.
in the kindness area and being kind. And I was thinking about that this morning. And if I start talking too much, let me know. I've had 2 cups of coffee already.
That's
But
fine. I mean, my time is just my weekend. I don't know you if you have more, like, I don't know if you're busy
I'm not doing anything.
today.
But anyway, back to the Random Act. What was I going to say? It really opened my world to more kindness. Like you try to be kind, right? And you try to be nice, but when you're actually in an initiative inspiring others to be kind, it's like an everyday thing. And when you start doing things every day, your heart grows. And I don't know how it happens slowly like that over time, but I always talk about kindness is like sugar. It's addictive. And once you start doing it, it just becomes addictive, and you just want to do it more and more and more and more. And pretty soon it just becomes part of your world. And it's amazing how kindness initiatives over time has changed my life. And through the kindness initiatives, you meet people that are like-minded, and you you open up to people and you become friends just from the simple act of being kind. It's amazing.
That's right. I would have to make sure it's included on the video so that people can hear that because what you said is just amazing.
How kindness gets in your heart like sugar.
Yes.
It's an addictive thing. And
Right. It
and
makes
then once you start doing it, you don't want to go back. You don't want to stop. It's like every day you look for things to do that are kind, and it's almost selfish. You you become a different person actually. And I always say that the Random Act changed my life in that way, because it was just it I don't know, just changed so many hearts, and across the world too. I mean,
they're
it's amazing. We
global.
had people in the Random Act globally. There, and I'm going to have to say this too. the Blue Angels team, we're still together. We have a little pod, we talk every day.
Mhm.
And one of the things, the two of the big things that are in our pod that we say is good morning, and we wake up and have coffee, virtual coffee every morning. And when it's Wednesday, we always say getting over the hump, you know, and we share the thing in our pod is the camels, getting over the hump of the
Mhm.
camel. And I just love that group. We're like family. It's
How
just
do you be part of the group? Do you,
a random act.
yeah, do you invite people?
I'm not doing it this year because I'm just so extremely busy, and
Uh,
it took a lot of time. But I would talk to Bob. I
okay.
would talk to Robert Seeger and get involved. It's amazing. You'll love it. You seem like you have a kind heart. You like to do those kind of things.
Yeah, I was like, I've been, I don't know, I like doing everything. I mean, if you do something for other people, like it, almost of my life, I'm like doing everything for my family, for other people. It's just part of who I am, I guess. If you're like just doing something for yourself, I don't, I don't know. It's just when you feel well, like for example, just your friend or your family that is happy because you did something for them, and it's like it's cheesy, but it's like double happiness for you. Something like that, right?
It's not cheesy. It's not cheesy.
It's just it just completes your heart. I mean,
Yeah,
just it's just I don't know. It's satisfying.
it is satisfying. Yeah. Well, I'm a Christian, and I believe in God, and I really believe that that's our purpose in life, is to serve others and to make others happy. And, especially during COVID, I have felt like it's a calling of mine, you know, because I'm in serving boys and cooking for them, which is an awesome job.
Mm,
You get to feed people, right? And there's
mm,
nothing greater.
mm.
Um, Sharing what you're cooking, that's part of your heart and your creativity. You're putting effort daily into serving, and it's phenomenal. But I just feel like it's been a calling of mine to, you know, I want to be able to look back on COVID and say, see ya. But during COVID, I want to know that I did my best, serving others. I just feel like it's a calling right now. And I think a lot of people feel that way too. We
Exactly.
can either look at all the people, the nurses, the doctors that just jump in.
Right.
It's like jumping into the fire. You don't know if you're going to die from COVID, or you don't know what your chances you're taking, but you just do it because your heart is saying, go serve,
I am talking to them every day. Like when I like my candidates, I place them to different facilities, and I have like my favorite. I don't know. I can't tell her name. Maybe I don't know, but she inspires me because she's been doing a lot of travel nurse, and she's been working like going in and out like infusion nurse, traveling anywhere. So
wow. She's putting herself at risk for others.
So I always give them like sweet words like, "Oh, you're such a superhero," and like, "Oh, I can't believe you're doing all this," and like, it just gives them laugh and smile and like it's already warming, right? Like you talk to them, you're like they're like driving so busy of going to work, and then they're on the phone with you because they're looking for another job that they need, something like that. They're looking into
Yeah.
another opportunity where they could work. And it's like, wow, I didn't realize
Yeah.
nurses can be this. I actually graduate as a nurse, but
Oh, you did?
yeah, but in practice the nursing. because I'd say I was just put up with the nursing school by relatives back then, so it's not really, I guess, for me. I moved with the teaching. I ventured with the English teaching industry, so I'm mostly connected to the English industry. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I got this healthcare recruitment and I was like talking to different healthcare people every day now, I just can't, like, wow, I just admire them, especially these days.
Yeah. Well, I think anybody that gets into that line of work, um, you have to have a calling in your heart to fulfill that job,
Mm-hmm.
because you are putting yourself at risk every day.
Yeah.
You have a love for serving, is what I'm saying, and you know you just have to you have to admire people like that, just that are jumping. It's almost like jumping into the fire. You don't know if you're
Yeah.
going to get burned or you're going to rescue people, at your own expense. I don't know. So,
There's a lot of medical people also perishing because of COVID. It's just like here and there, here in my country, there's a lot already passed. Like really great doctors, nurses,
yep.
I guess all over the world. Anyways.
On a lighter note,
Yeah. Maybe if
uh,
you're like next home, like you're my neighbor. Wow, it'd be great, right?
yeah, I'd be bringing you cookies today.
Plus, I saw your Korean barbecue. Oh my god, it looks so yum. I'm like, wow. Okay.
Some people are vegetarians, so I think I'm offending people at the same time. Oh, she's cooking meat. If you notice, it's mostly guys that comment. They love meat. All of the guys are like, oh, that's meat.
like mixed. So I'm like eating chicken and veggies.
Yeah,
Not so
yeah,
much into pork and other.
yeah.
But I
Well,
eat.
like I, what's that?
I'm eating meat. Like
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said one time on one of my posts, it's like, if if my hashtag's called Jill on the grill, I'm not going to show you how to make salads. That's just a part of what I do, is being on the grill. But I do make, in fact, I love making different kinds of salads and vegetarian. I like quinoa,
mm,
couscous salads, um, broccoli salads, roasted cauliflower, stir fries,
I like that. I like cauliflower broccoli.
Thai noodle.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that go with my dish, but when I'm doing Jill on the grill, it's just meat, right? But anyway, so people think that's all I do, but it's really not. In
Right.
fact, I think my favorite thing to do as a chef is marinades.
Okay, yes. You
I
pre-
like to make my own marinades.
and you have to prepare that like for how long, right?
Well, yeah, so you can buy a marinade, but I like making my own homemade, with sesame oil and sesame seeds, soy sauce, different kinds of sauce, orange juice, citrus. I love using lemons, lemon zest in a lot of my marinades, but yeah, I don't show that a lot because I'm always so busy working. When I get on the grill, it's just that quick psh, psh, and I video it and then I'm back to work. But I always think I don't want to miss sharing this because somebody might get a good idea from it. They might go, oh, I would like to make Korean barbecue too. You know, that's mostly why I do it, to share ideas. So anyway,
Yeah. It's like a form of giving too. You share,
yeah,
and it's
yeah,
like just boils down to kindness, I guess. It's just how you want to share a part of your life, a part of what you do to people, so that
Right.
you could be seen and could be heard, and maybe one soul in this planet actually hears you and sees you and get inspired from it, even if you don't
Right.
know it, but at least it's out there and like you're being
Right.
inspiration. That's exactly what um just probably drives me doing the podcast because I was like, yeah, collecting success stories, like inspiring stories like yours or any others who can
That's so cool.
alive, right?
Sharing what people do. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like
That's what Bob does too.
hmm, I also like I don't know, I'm not a pro, but I also like into cooking because my mom is also doing cooking and all that back
I
home.
wish you lived closer. We'd cook together.
Yeah, I
We
think
could make some yummy Thai food or some Korean or
be more of learning from you and doing it by myself, like recreating it, something like that. It's
uh-huh.
fun, right?
You know what? Even as somebody that cooks all the time, when
Mm.
I'm with somebody like you, I like to let you be the director.
What really?
Yeah, because, um, well, for instance, I've worked at a lot of places like recovery centers, where people are in there for drug and alcohol problems.
Oh,
And I always invited them into the kitchen and I always learned something. Everybody, like somebody will come from Texas and they'll bring a Texas something that I didn't know how to cook.
uh,
Or in fact, it was a guy that came to the recovery center that taught me how to make a lot of the marinades that I make now.
oh,
So
nice.
yeah, so when I'm in the kitchen, it's like it's not all about me and what I'm doing. I love just sitting back and watching the other, for you instance, if you were cooking with me, I would sit back and watch you.
I could
Um,
share like Filipino
yes.
dishes.
See?
Filipinos. I
And I think,
like I don't know, experimenting on. I made this like spare ribs, a little spicy. I just put a mix of ketchup and soy sauce and pepper and bell pepper and that's it. Like leeks,
yum.
and then I just mix them, marinate them,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's it like the next time, and then I'm gonna cook it. Like
Mm-hmm.
just
That kind of sounds like a sweet and sour sauce without like, so if you added pineapple juice and brown sugar or something, I can't remember how to make that, but
little sugar too.
uh-huh.
I did never tried with the pineapple yet.
Pi- I like to add pineapple to a lot of marinades. It's
Oh,
really
okay. Maybe I
pineapple juice out of the can, teriyaki sauce, right? Add some pineapple juice, even dump in the pineapple, and mix it into the marinade with some citrus like orange juice or something like that. But when you were talking about your marinade, my mind just went to the sweet and sour, you
yeah.
know.
It's a little sweet and sour and spicy.
Yeah.
So they like it. Like my family liked it. I just experimented on it. And like every time I go home, they would request for me to do it.
I think the funny thing is too, like on one of my posts, I posted pork spare ribs.
Huh.
And then I got a guy saying, well, this is how I do it. Well, I try to stand back and go, yeah, there's many ways to do pork spare ribs. There's probably more than 1,000 ways. I'm just sharing one way. This is how I'm doing it today. Oh, he said, how long are you going to smoke it? And I said, I'm not smoking it today. I'm just putting it in the oven and then finishing it under the broiler and getting a good bubbly, caramelized sauce. I like finishing my ribs in the broiler because it makes the pork nice and crunchy. And anyway, so but there's like that's why I love listening, because there's a million ways to do things. It's not just my way. And I love learning. So
Do you like seafood?
I, eh, I, I do like seafood. Yeah.
To
What's
seafood?
that?
You have allergies to seafood?
I don't know.
Most people, like at least half of people, like they have allergies to shrimp. I have this favorite dish that I cook too, like a buttered shrimp, but
Ooh.
I put it on I like I soaked it in a Sprite, like a soda, the Sprite.
Uh-huh.
It's sweet, right? I just I don't know, I just add it. I probably Google it or I don't know, I watch it somewhere. So I tried it myself too. Then
Was it good?
my favorite. Yeah, it's like the Sprite is sweet, right? So then it became like the sugar. So I just like put butter and then you saute with garlic and onion and then you put the shrimp.
And then you reduce that sauce?
It
You
actually
reduce,
is already soaked on the Sprite before you saute.
yeah.
And then you add I like spicy, a little bit like spicy. So I always put like pepper and bell pepper.
Mm-hmm.
That's
That
it.
sounds delicious.
Then you just it's up to you if you want to add veggies on the side.
Mhm.
Sometimes I do,
Mhm.
sometimes I don't. And then I don't know, just blend something. Sometimes I add um if you want if I want it like saucy, a little bit saucy, so then I add um ketchup too.
Ketchup?
Yeah. Tomato, tomato
Yeah.
sauce.
Yeah. My mind just went to shrimp scampi, where you
Those
where
are
you
just
you
like
do a butter lemon reduction. You know, do the butter and the lemon, then um,
I haven't
some
with a
white wine,
I,
white wine.
oh wow, really?
But you could do Sprite, maybe. I've never tried Sprite. See,
Oh
it's a
yeah,
new one
it's
because
just
it's a little.
sweet.
Uh,
I don't add sugar anymore, just the Sprite.
is that like a sugar-free Sprite?
Just a regular Sprite here. What?
Okay.
I'm sure
Well,
it's
see,
sugar. It's not
when I do like a shrimp scampi,
uh
I throw I do the butter and then the lemon juice and then I slowly add the white wine or
oh
cooking wine and then you reduce it.
uh-huh.
You like slow simmer it to get some of the moisture out and incorporate the flavors.
Uh-huh.
And then you finish it with the shrimp. So you just throw the shrimp into that for, I don't know, 2 minutes
Oh,
maybe.
you
Your
cook
dish is done.
you first cook the sauce and
Uh-huh.
the latter you put the shrimp. You don't
Yep.
say it. With,
Right.
oh, okay.
That's how I cook most the time when I cook shrimp. Like if I'm making a jambalaya, I just end it with the shrimp and just throw the shrimp in at the very end.
Because it's easily cooked anyway, right?
Yeah, doesn't take very long.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, that sounds really like a good recipe. I'm going to try that Sprite, and then I'm going to video it and post it for you.
Okay. It's like those are like two recipes that I personally did cook.
Yeah, that sounds delicious.
Like
I, I'm just lucky because I always say, you know, there's a lot of things that I could have done in life, but I'm glad that I gravitated to cooking because it's so useful.
yeah, I mean, I want to ask, like, I'm curious. Is this something that you really want to do? I mean, how did you get into cooking? Is this like, are you really into cooking all your life, or you've been
No, I
doing
think people that like,
what's
you know,
cooking
you
early?
hear you hear some people say that they cooked with grandma when they were young and
Uh-huh.
they, always loved cooking. I was more of a tomboy and I was outside. I used to ride horses.
It's like a boyish when I was in high.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I grew up on a farm.
Yes, I'm like a farm girl too.
Yeah, I'm a farm girl. I am a cowgirl at heart, and I will always miss riding my horse. But when I came home from school, that's the first thing I did was put a pad and a bridle on my horse, and I was gone all day until the sun came down. Or I liked skateboarding. We used to go to the aqueduct and skateboard, but I I wasn't into cooking. My sisters were into sewing and cooking and those kind of things. So I let them do it, and I came home from riding and ate their food. But I was never, and in fact, after high school, I became a meat wrapper, just a necessity to make money. And I actually did that for 25 years. And I really, I believe in loving what you do at the time that you're doing it. It's
Ex-
not that I really loved it, but I try to love what I do when I'm doing it. I don't know if that makes sense.
It
I
makes
mean, yeah, your passion might not be podcasting,
yeah, yeah.
but you love what you're doing at the time that you're doing it.
Exactly, exactly.
Because it brings people into your life, and it brings situations, and it brings skill. I was a meat wrapper for 25 years, and I learned all the cuts of meat. I learned how to cut them, how to bone things out, how to fillet salmon, fillet fish. And so, it's just little steps like Robert Seeger and I were talking about. You don't know everything right now. It's a compilation of steps that you've taken to get you there. And I look back over my years of working, and it's just the steps that brought me, and the steps that I took that brought me to where I'm at now, have been amazing. I look back and it's like, yep, that's the step I took because I needed to learn this and that. It's not that I love it. It's just it helped support my family. It helped support my husband through college. It helped put braces on my kids' teeth.
It did.
Like the insurance that I had. Yeah, just stuff like that. I never had the opportunity to go to college, but my husband did, and
Oh,
I take great joy in knowing that I supported him the best I could during that time. But I also learned a lot of things, and so it's the little steps that you take along the life that I believe God brings us to places in our life and situations in our life for a purpose. And
exactly.
that's the way I look at life. So yeah, it's been a fun journey, but I haven't always cooked. No.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then I quit that job of meat wrapping, and then I moved to Utah, and I thought I would retire, but I was so bored. I would just cry every day. I'm like, what is my purpose now? I'm not working every day. What is my purpose? And finally, I just told myself I need to just go do something. And so I had a girl move in next door, and we became friends. And she opened up a shop, and then there was a little building, a little part of the building that had access to like a counter and a sink, and so I opened up my own smoothie shop.
Hmm.
You know how things just lead you somewhere, and
Hmm.
I did that for 3 years. It was panini sandwiches and smoothies, and it was so popular in the town because there was no smoothie shops. So yeah, that was a great time of my life, but it's just little things that led me. And then I closed that and went to work for a bed and breakfast. I was a bed and breakfast chef for the famous Johnson Mill bed and breakfast in Midway. I
Hmm.
did that for 3.5 years. I cooked for a couple of celebrities. I cooked for Ryan Reynolds,
Oh, oh,
and I
okay.
cooked for Blake Lively for 2 weeks. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. Yeah. They were there on holiday, and so they were trying to get away from the big city, and
Mm-mm.
but a lot of people, a lot of celebrities came there. Um, Luke Perry, I cooked for him for 2 weeks. They were doing some filming at the time. So, I mean, it's just things that I've done led me certain places, and then that closed. And so a friend of mine said, there's a recovery center open. And so I went and applied it. I got that. And I'll tell you what, I learned when you cook daily, breakfast, lunch, and dinner for people, you don't cook the same thing every day. You have to know different recipes, and
Mm-hmm.
Thai, Italian, Mexican,
Right.
and then you all of a sudden you're thrown in working with Latinos or with somebody that's Chinese, and then you kind of take what, like I said, I watch you. If I was with you cooking, I watched and I learned from some great, great people that knew how to cook different kinds of, and so that's where I learned over the years all these different things that I know now. I took some of the marinade recipes from the guy in the recovery center that showed me how to make marinades.
Mm-hmm.
And now I just started that hashtag Jill on the grill. I love barbecuing, and people love it too. People love barbecue. So, and
Yeah.
I might not be the best, but I've always had the theory of whatever you do, do it the best you can.
Right.
I know there's better chefs than me out there,
Yes.
but where I win is I have determination, and I have a will to learn, and a will to not care what people think. I'm doing my best.
Right. And to be able to share it to people, be able to share it to people out there who might, be inspired by it. You don't know that, but you are touching lives, touching, you know, soul.
Well, I've always been really quiet, like until I got on LinkedIn and I started saying, I'm going to start sharing some stuff
Yeah.
and coming out of and getting more vulnerable and meeting people. I mean, I've always just been like, I'll put my head down and I'll just do it and not share it. And I think that it's been really mind blowing that people are actually liking what I'm doing.
Hmm. You'd be
You
surprised
know,
because you'd be really surprised.
I think it does surprise people when you get out of your comfort zone.
You put yourself out there.
Yeah.
You realize it's
Yeah.
exactly what happened to me too when I was like doing this podcast. I don't know what exactly will come out of it. You just do it, and then you'd be surprised by the result and how people accommodate you and
Yeah.
what exactly you were doing for others. Then
Yeah.
you'd realize, oh, I have a purpose, and it
Yeah.
makes you happy.
But see, this podcast, it may not be your calling, but it may be leading you somewhere.
Yes, exactly. I just went along with. I don't
Yeah.
know. Um, I don't know. It's just an idea, a simple idea, and probably inspire others. And it's gonna make me happy. So I did it, and then yeah, here we are now. I'm meeting people like you, amazing people
Yeah.
with
Well,
different
thank you.
stories, and then you get to share your stories to the world. You don't know
Yeah.
who's watching. You don't know which part of the world is watching and
Yeah.
being touched by your story. You know?
Exactly. But you don't know that. I mean, until you actually say, you know what, I'm going to try. I'm
Right.
going to try and put myself out there and not care. I don't care if people like it. Do you? I
Yeah.
don't care. I do it for myself.
Yeah.
And if you can inspire that one person that might go, ooh, I want to learn how to make Korean barbecue. Or,
Thai noodles, spicy Thai.
yeah, I mean, I had just learned that recipe. I'm like, that Korean spicy noodle is so easy to make. I'm like, why haven't I been making this? It's so simple. It's like 6 ingredients thrown into a pot and then you throw noodles in it. How hard is that, right? But so yeah, but it's just like the little steps that we take along the way. Maybe my purpose isn't cooking. Maybe my purpose is to cook. So it will open me up to LinkedIn that will, someday lead me into, I could be like Guy Fieri and do the diners, drive-ins and dives. I always say I would love to do that. I probably wouldn't ever do that, but you never know where things lead you when you open yourself up and you become vulnerable. And
Exactly.
yeah. Yeah, I taught you something today.
Yes, of course. You a lot.
Podcasts don't have to be stiff,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah. Get to the meat of people, which is their heart.
Yeah, I'll keep that in mind and in heart. And
Yeah.
I'm sure that it will show on my podcast today that it's a little lighter and funnier, I guess.
Oh, thank you. I don't know.
It would
I'm in that.
reflect, I'm sure.
What?
It would reflect.
Yeah, and also I got to meet you.
And I
I
get to
mean,
see you,
I
the
got to meet
amazing
you.
chef, the amazing chef, Sully
Would you like a signed autograph photo? I'm just kidding.
Have it ready. You don't think I come prepared. I am prepared.
My husband always says, nobody knows who you are. You're not famous. You're just on LinkedIn. And I'm like, well,
Care. I mean, you
it's
don't care. We just...
that's why I always say, do you want an autograph? It's funny.
wish
It
I
would be funny.
know,
I'm not serious. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Oh, so much fun.
realize you're so much fun.
Success Bench with Rosy. Love, Rosy. Tune in for more videos and upcoming episodes. Subscribe to my channel and get inspired. And don't forget to click the notification bell. See ya!